Hello again. I'm pleased to introduce you to our last panel of the day. I'll start by introducing AVNEET, who is a vision coach and co-founder at Encubay, a cross-border business and investment platform working at the intersection of equity, innovation, and international growth, empowering diverse founders and future-focused stakeholders to scale, raise capital, and expand globally. At Encubay, AVNEET has enabled founders across India and UAE to access mentorship, capital pathways, and international market opportunities. Drawing from her entrepreneurial journey, from early venture building and burnout to building a global ecosystem, she brings a rare blend of strategic depth and lived experience to her work. AVNEET is known for building high-trust partnerships and her ability to help founders scale. She recently authored the Life Planner, a thinking system in a toolkit that helps ambitious minds actualize their goals and life vision. I invite you on the stage. Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you, ladies. It's Friday. It's the 23rd of Jan. I think we need to give a huge shout out to the World Women Davos team. No one's usually here on Friday. And the fact that we're here and it's full, that means you guys are hustlers and these guys are doing something right. So kudos to World Women Davos. I think it's fantastic. I'm AVNEET KOHLI. I'm a Middle East market enabler, as you heard from Oana the Great, and the co-founder of Encubay, which is a cross-border business and investment platform. It's truly an honor to be speaking at this forum. Just to give you some background and context, for me, life has kind of come full circle today, because in January 2025, we launched one of our biggest missions in Davos, which is the Wealth Shift movement, where if all of us have, I don't know how many of you have heard, if not, after today, please make sure and read up on the same, which is we are on the way to the first ever lived intergenerational transfer of wealth, where almost 30 trillion US dollars are expected to move in the hands of women and next generation. What we have today is data from US, UK, Europe, and Japan, and so many other parts of the world where we don't even know what the impact is going to be. So we stand at a very critical moment where for the first time ever in history, women are going to have access to capital because they're going to inherit this wealth. But the question is this just a paper transfer of ownership, or are they actively stewarding where this capital is invested? And that's the work that we do at Encubay, which is bridge knowledge, networks, and capital for women with a vision. And today it is my honor to bring together some fantastic women from around the world who will be sharing their diverse perspectives on what this intergenerational transfer of wealth could mean. I hope it means, rather. And I would, with great pride, like to bring upon, first up, Lucy CHOW. For the lack of a better way to introduce her, I do often tell her she's my guru, because because Lucy is one of the OG investors in UAE. She's a LP in, I don't know, 100 plus funds. She has been an active shaper of the innovation ecosystem in the Middle East. And I think the conversations that we have about what I'm talking to you about today, which is driving capital in the hands of women, this lady here has been doing that work for almost 3 decades now. So Lucy, I love you and thank you for being here. Next up, I'd like to bring upon Mimi ISHIO. Give her a huge round of applause. Mimi ISHIO is a philanthropist and the founder of Wingstone Capital. For the first time, when we talk about women having access to this capital and what they're going to do with it, we will delve deep into that. But the way this panel is curated is we have inheritors of this wealth and we have capital allocators who can actually make sure that just this PR announcement could mean into on-ground reality. Mimi is a business strategic advisor to more than 85 different companies. She's based out of Japan. She's fantastic. She's got a heart of gold where she does work across the philanthropic segment apart from being invested in various other family businesses and more. She understands from even a cultural context of what women need to move forward with. Mimi, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You all have mics?
This is such a hot topic. We're really actually hot up here. Yes, right?
So we've been in Davos for the last 4 days, and apart from AI privacy, climate, data, the next topic that I've been really listening to a lot of content around is next-gen wealth and leadership. So we sit at a very, very interesting inflection point where we do have the opportunity to make sure that in our lifetime, that entire pity-petty story of, oh, women don't have money, women need money, money does not find its way to women, less than 5% of global venture capital going to women, that narrative for the first time ever can be changed. And I would like to delve deep into the brains of these two amazing women. Lucy, first up, I want to ask you, especially because you have a great Middle Eastern context, and Mimi, you bring in a context of Asia and other parts of the world. The Middle East is the capital of capital, right? Abu Dhabi especially now has in fact even made it their grand statement across the world. It's their tagline. I'm born and brought up there, and it's interesting to see when I'd grow up, we'd see camels and emus, and today we see financial centers. So it's at a very interesting time. It is the heart center of where family offices, a lot of new money that is moving into the region. Talk to me about a few trends that you see and what may have differed from the time when you have been working on this for the last 3 decades. Talk to me a little bit about your macro perspective on the Middle East.
Okay. As we probably know from fabulous reporting institutions like Forbes, we are unique in the Middle East and particularly in the UAE, right? We are a hub for private capital, but we also have the political agility and will. And we're grateful every day to the rulers. And there is a hunger to build and scale sectors quickly. So what does that mean? It means we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to really build inclusive capital systems. And maybe I can talk about some levers as to how we can make that happen. But in terms of just seeing the change, it's been phenomenal. There was always a can-do attitude there, AVNEET, from growing up. But when you see that we now have surpassed 4 million in population, what we're also seeing is in the past we had young companies start up there, right? New founders. But what we're seeing now are very, very established companies coming to set up their office there. They're like, I don't want to be in my home country. I can see that I'm going to scale better. I'm going to be more profitable if I base and uproot myself and base myself in the UAE, which is huge. So that there is a maturation of our ecosystem. So let me just very quickly say what we need to do is to institutionalize inclusivity. And this is really powerful. This means we need more female GPs. We need more women-led supply chains and creation of opportunities in high mobility sectors. And then maybe one other thing, I want us to have a reputation for fairness and the ability to scale quickly. And regardless of gender, passport, you're able to scale in the UAE faster than anywhere else.
Thank you, Lucy. This is a conversation I'd love to delve into deeper, because I think I really want to run so far away from the entire, with the world looking at women from further than diversity and inclusion. It's a missed economic opportunity.
100%.
Right? If you're not investing in women, we have data to support that. Women deliver 70 cents higher to $1. And it's a sorry state of affairs, maybe because of, the number of roles a woman plays in her life, whether it's falling out of work because of marriage, childcare, but the mental, physical, and economic capacity exists. Mimi, I'm very curious. You come from the opposite side of the, earth. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about how does this manifest in Asia and specifically Japan, that is going to be out of the 4 countries that are going to see the biggest transfer of this 30 trillion, Japan being one of them. What do you envision?
Yes. So thank you so much for inviting me. Well, a little bit about myself background. Yes. So hello everyone. I'm Mimi ISHIO from Japan, Tokyo. Well, I have ownership in businesses in Japan, and using that resources, my husband and I have family private foundation, and we support education, job training, animal welfare, and women empowering. And besides that, I invest in AI, defense force, education, food tech, and also some other area. I also believe that financial independence or financial basement is really crucial for women and also men. So I personally mentor 86 CEOs, including 1/3 of them are men, including who has the experience.
Give that a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
That means two-thirds are women.
And they have experience in business for 15 to 30 years, and they, learning business from me. But anyway, so the human to invest in human capital is really important, and also the showing the role model, like those people, would be the next role model. I'm kind of, I'm so happy to share my experience a little bit with you, amazing woman here, and about the investment. In Japan, there's not many female role models. So even in, for example, the business conference or business meeting, men don't exchange business card with women. Yeah, like the other day, I witnessed 5 male CEO exchange cards, and then one lady was standing next to them, but they kind of ignored, and then they left without exchanging or saying hello to this female CEO. Yeah, it happens. I kind of used to it. Yeah, so to me, it was so not natural. I was so used to it. But here, it's so different. Strong woman, strong female leadership has, you. And yeah, but in Japan, there's no role model, like a female strong leader. So I kind of understand why male, leaders are kind of, avoiding or ignoring using time with women, because no role model, not many role models yet. So we need to invest in female companies. We need to invest in, the female initiative. That's for sure.
Mimi, I'm also curious. I want to ask you, of course, do work on the business side, and you're also a very big philanthropist. How do you decide when do you want to put in philanthropic money versus investment capital?
Yes. So for me, the philanthropy is as a seed. So we put the seed and the support. But for me, investment is an engine. So we use investment when we want those projects to be excellent or the scale up. So those are different. And also, I can connect or meet with people where I cannot meet through the businesses. For example, when I visited India, this poor area, Bihar, no roof or no wall, in school, and we support those U.S. NGO where they are supporting education in India. And one young lady came up to me, and she said, "Mimi, I want to learn from you. I want to learn in Japan." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, come to Japan. When are you coming?" But she said, maybe in 30 years, because her mother is so poor. Of course, she cannot afford. So I said, okay, I will invite you. And I arranged a passport or a visa, everything. I prepared a dinner in Japan with Prime Minister's wife and other 50 supporters. And I invited her. Obviously, she was the first lady. She was the first girl who got on the airplane in her village. She got on the airplane for the first time. She saw the Mount Fuji for the first time, and she came and and then later on, a few years later, I got a message from her, Mimi, I found a dream in Tokyo, and I'm going to now I'm in one of the top university because I found a dream in Tokyo. And then she said, now it's my turn to inspire other people because I got inspired by you. So this kind of experience I can receive from my foundation through my foundation activity.
Mimi, I don't need you to arrange anything. I'll make it to Japan on my own, but you have to show me cherry blossom. Okay?
Yes. I will invite you, of course.
Okay. The one thing I wondered about is when we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? Those are kind of taboo words considering the current presidency that we have in some of the world's strongest countries. But I wonder what does, when we do a lot of work that we do at Encubay, what we mean by equity is equitable opportunity, irrespective of gender, right? And a lot of that also lies beyond, it's not just gender, it could be nationality, it could be age, it could be geographies, right? I'm sure we have so many entrepreneurs in the room, but if there was, I wonder how many of them have a structured pathway. If you wanted to come and do business in Dubai, how can you do so? And my biggest heartbreak is when women don't even know that they can have such a vision for themselves, right? They don't allow themselves the opportunity to dream as big, and more so, I don't blame them, because those pathways don't exist. Today, in a period of 5 years, Encubay has scaled across 5 markets. We are in UAE, in India, New York was most recent, some presence in Singapore, little presence in Austria, but I know that we're on a right trajectory. My question here would be that it's such a vast difference when you say that she's such a capable founder, and what if she did not meet somebody like Mimi? What were her odds, right? What would she do? Or what about the various others that have not met Mimi? Can we have a sort of a world woman program where women, irrespective of nationality, of age, but just for the pure vision and innovation that they're building, can we have a global program where women like us who have the ability to move wind in a certain direction, can we have a program, can we have a learning, forum, can we have something like this where vision can be actualized? What do you think?
No, fabulous. I love the big vision thinking, and we're at Davos after all, so we can totally make this happen as an action point. One of the things I really wanted to parse out was that what we need to also change the dialogue about the control of money, because we're also talking about inherited wealth and so forth. We want to talk about women actually having agency in allocating wealth, not just receiving it. So that means, again, accelerating more women into GP roles where they're the ones writing the checks. And you can start small as an angel. And there's a lot of action points we can take where we can be training. And I would always say to women that are inheriting wealth that they start with a portfolio, maybe be very diverse, small checks, test out the waters, but then also that will give you confidence. We then need to make sure those angels or the investors scale, that they feel confident becoming LPs and then GPs where they start their own funds. So I guess what I'm saying is there is the system's broken. So what we need is to insert ourselves into the system. And I'm hoping we can come up with actual tangible tools to do that.
Yes. So as a business owner, I make profit more than the average amount of female income, and more than average amount of men income. And I make profit not for myself, to use it as a resource for something meaningful. You know, to make the cycle, to create that cycle is so important. My father taught me, my grandfather taught me, you know, to give back to society. That's the cause or motivation that, you know, we make business. And there is a beautiful word in Japan, ikigai. Have you ever, yeah, do you know ikigai? Yes. So when you do something, that's, it has to be something you are passionate with, and it's something you are good at, and something world needs, like the market needs, and something that you can make benefit from. So those elements, you know, like, yeah, cross over, then you can, you know, be financially independent, and you can be, you know, mentally fulfilled. You know, it's rewarding, and also you can find the meaning of love, you know, life. And so last year I held a conference in Tokyo. The theme is Ikigai. It was an international conference.
We want to come to the next one.
Yes, I was about to say that. Yes. So I'll be the bridge, you know, from Japan and, you know, the other, your country, here, your country, and everyone around the world. So please, let's, you know, co-host, or, you know, to create conference, or anything program or something together. And I believe that the ultimate purpose of life is to spend time with your loved ones, and also good-hearted people. That's what I believe. So, you know, let's do it together. Good-hearted people.
This is fabulous,
Yes.
and I love the start of a powerful network. And very quickly, Avneet, I really believe equality doesn't fail because of lack of knowledge, or why equality is failing is because there's a system in place that's still routing opportunities through an old network. We need to create new networks.
I love that insight. I think my next question would be for both of you, and that is, how do you think, I mean, clearly there is people, earlier the question was, what are we really missing, right? Is it the bias towards, you know, women that is holding them back? Is it, clearly it's not a lack of capital anymore. Capital is available. So why do you think we're still at this number of 5% of, this is just VC funding, right? I mean, I'm talking about there are various other ways women might be securing grants, but why are we still not able to move this metric?
I mean, I think it does go back to what I just said. The old networks are very strong, and so we need to start inserting ourselves into the investment landscape. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, unfortunately. Again, we can create change once we're the ones writing the checks, ladies. Okay, so I implore you, it doesn't matter what the size of your check is or how much you can afford, even if it's a small percentage of your income, please make sure that you're funneling that money to female founders. Feel confident in feeling financially literate, and don't feel that you cannot be an investor. It's learned. We're here to learn in Davos. You can learn to become an investor.
that is some of the work we're beginning to do now, Lucy, at Encubay. God willing, 2026, that's something that we are able to amplify. We want to teach a lot more women to start investing, or at least know the basics of holding a conversation around finance. We are working on it. We are raising capital for it, partnering with enterprises. So I would absolutely welcome and invite any partnerships, any conversations that you think can help us actualize what we're trying to do with regards to women's financial literacy and investing. I think the next question I would have, I think I do have just a few more minutes to go, but what I want to say is, as women increasingly influence global wealth, what shifts do you think are still needed, Mimi? And talk to me about Asian culture, talk to me about, we clearly know that networks are amiss. We've identified that. We've identified that women GPs, women that are writing the checks are amiss. The one thing that I think is a very, very big miss is also somehow if you're able to procure your angel capital, sadly, there is no maintenance program or people holding that money, making sure that the founder is on a growth track, right? So it becomes a passive investment where the founder needs to figure out everything that they can, talking to their investors maybe once in a month, twice in a month, versus an active program that operates like an accelerator or an incubator program that holds that, makes sure that that money is being invested carefully. Because the biggest opinion that those that are writing the checks have is that women are going to lose the money. Women don't understand money. What are they going to do with this? So how do we make sure that we address, because I don't anymore want to be in a room where women are speaking for women and we're saying, oh yeah, let's go change the world. I think it's very important for us to bring men into the conversation where the capital still lies with them, but how do we give them more safety and security and bring them into this conversation?
Yes, I was about to say that, in Japan, when people say woman empowering, 100% or 90% in the room is only women. But in the US or in Europe, I encountered the opportunity that, when I came to this woman empowering dinner, breakfast, and then half of them are men supporting women sincerely. So one thing I was lucky about was, two things. I'm here because of my mother taught me that for women, financially independence is really important. When I was a child, she taught me, and she made me believe that. And second thing, my husband have a full support for what I do. Like he's like, okay, go anywhere you want, and as long as you want, or yeah. So that is. Really, really important to have not only women, but again, as you said, men. But at the same time, okay, so let's take the first step. So you're gonna make profit and use it for something good or something meaningful, investment or philanthropy, and let's just not to think too much. The other day I told my one of my friends, don't think too much, just do it, and you can do it. But I didn't have a mentor when I was younger, like I had to experience by myself. So it took me a long time. And now, mentoring other people, I feel like, oh, I'm giving, a lot of resources to them. They're so lucky. And, so to have a good mentor, make your time really, how can I say, shortcut and then, very efficient. So come to her, find a good mentor. They're going to teach you, to do, not to do. It's going to be, efficient, or yeah. So that's going to be faster. So that community or program is really, important. And maybe at the moment here, there, a lot of different communities or programs, but I think it's inefficient. So we need to connect, or we need to share the knowledges, resources, the money, and also inside everything. And so this time she invited me. How can I say invited me as a speaker? And she's the woman who share everything with everyone. And this kind of how can I say mentality or the mindset? Mindset, yes. Yes, abundant mindset. Not only like, I secure this, but we share and we help each other. That's what she does. And I'm so, so touched. Yeah. And so let's share the knowledge, resources, money, and then let's take a step. Don't think too much, but, carefully listen to your mentors or, experienced person so that you can avoid some mistakes, losing money or something.
If I can expand, just add rather to the poignant points from Mimi, I would like to think that in the next 10 years that we're focusing on like an inclusive alpha in terms of like working with men. So again, we're at Davos, so I think we need to come up with a new metric of how do we measure impact, how do we measure ROI, and that could be where the bottom line on a report, on a capital report, is how inclusive, what are the inclusive outcomes of an investment. If we can all agree in a room with men, because like we're putting our investor hat on, doesn't matter what our gender is. If we can just say, can we agree that success, one metric is that what have we changed in society? What was the investment truly inclusive, and what were the outcomes?
Thank you so much for sharing, Lucy. I have my final 2 questions for both of you. Considering that both of you are active capital allocators, what are you looking at as, blue ocean sectors? If you were to invest money today or advise us to consider these sectors, what are you looking at?
Well, it's an interesting question. So many things that I want to, be a help or support. So this year or last year, I've been thinking about how we can maximize our impact in the most efficient way. End of that last year, I was thinking about turning one of my properties into a shelter for women. And this year, I was like, okay, why not just only one building, but just like more buildings, and why not creating a city? And Ikigai city. So that's kind of, I just came up with this 3-4 days ago. I saw a dream about this. It's a sign. I'm not that spiritual usually, but, it was a sign clearly. So making a, city, like smart city together where people can gather and discuss and then think, what we can do for society. And, in this place, of course, women can take a leadership, and animal life will be saved. And I'd like to put a lot of solutions and people's knowledge and make a synergy. That's what I'm thinking about. Yes, at the moment.
I'll keep this short because I think Mimi invests like in a lot already, because you told us earlier. So I'm using a bit of a Middle East lens, but for instance, one sector is longevity and wellness, and that to me is really important when we talk about investing in whether it's women's health, femtech, graceful aging, but also there's a huge return. So it's not just investing in women, but all the positive aspects of positive mental health also. And then I am very focused on gaming. And so that is a whole other sector that is growing heavily in the UAE and in Saudi. So we cannot put our head in the sand in terms of the gaming ecosystem. And that could be everything from edutech to actual peripherals related to gaming. And one thing I'm really fascinated about is accessibility in games. So that's a big topic coming up.
Something very interesting Lucy and I were talking about the other day is, and I think Mimi mentioned today that there was a lack of role models in Japan. We also have that in gaming. Like, how many female game characters do you really know of, right? But that could be such a cool way for people to really, connect with what women can do.
It's so important to see more women characters actually physically in games, but also like every industry, the gaming sector suffers from lack of C-suite executives. So we also need to channel more C-suite executives into development, into creatives, into studios. And then we're going to see a more democratization in games also.
Amazing. I think I'm going to seal the deal. My last question is, I think, a little redundant, where I was about to ask that if we look ahead to 2030, what would success actually look like? And I think our panelists today have addressed that in various ways. One being capital being allocated by women, which means them being educated enough to know how to start investing, the importance of networks and them building their own, having programs, cross-border global programs or forums or events where women can go and get exposure. I think we've looked at a lot of these aspects of what must change. Any last thoughts?
No, and just that when we look at capital flows, that we look at accountability, but that we change the way we look at the entire system, and that we look for inclusive, positive outcomes when we're investors.
Yes. So right now everything is AI, and thanks to it has a good side and bad side. But thanks to AI, we can save a lot of money, time, and we can spend a lot of time with our loved ones, and I believe that is the most important thing. How many cherry blossom you can see with your loved ones, how many full moon you can see with your family, wife, the husband, wife. The time with your loved ones is so important for me too. And thanks to AI, we can probably make more time for something meaningful, some art or the creative things. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. And so I'd like to make the total different new version of our world. Yeah, new version of you, new version of ourselves, new version of world. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. And important thing is to make this new, the core is our good heart. In Japan, the moral is very important. The virtue, I don't know. Yeah, it's quite important. So with a good heart, we want to, make the best version of us. That's my vision.
Awesome.
I look forward to coming to the Ikigai home, which will be there someday. I'm so excited for you, Mimi. Fantastic. I'll now open the forum for any questions. Please, let's take the next 2 minutes or take 2-3 questions. Please raise your hands. Yes, please.
What are the criteria that you will have for, like, the 3-5 main criteria that you will choose for your investments?
I'll just very quickly answer that. It's always the founder. Do we feel that they can execute on their business plan? Then, of course, the market moat, the addressable market. How large is the opportunity? And then, obviously, the actual business. How far along is the business model? We typically would not invest until there is a minimum viable product. Thank you.
Thank you.
Many of investors are looking at your commitment, responsibility, your personality, and also it has to be not like product out. It's market in, what the market needs, and also many of the investors are looking at your team. You know, who's on your team, what's their background, what's, you know, like who is supporting your, you know, team ideas. Yeah, that's maybe the truth.
Yes, please.
I have completely different question, and I apologize for that. But just yesterday, watching the Elon Musk speech, you know, he announced robots and he's doing IPO, and I'm considering to invest in both of his IPO and Tesla when it gets a bit deep. Would you invest in SpaceX IPO?
No, absolutely. I'm a big believer of the future. And I should have mentioned that it's very important for women to start feeling comfortable investing in deep tech. That is our future. Okay, automation, all of this, you know, let's not call them robots, let's call them cobots, right? Because we need still the human in it. We could have a whole other panel discussion about the views of, you know, it's very polarized. But find your values, as Mimi mentioned, and invest in companies that hold those values. But I'm a big believer in space. Yeah.
I'll have to take one last question, sorry. Please pass the mic over.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Inside the Congress Center, there has literally been no discussion about women's issues. And I think given the wealth transition, it is actually critical. So where do you see, I mean, you've made a lot of references that are I loved what you were talking about, the place where you come as individuals. But given this divide, what do you see as the biggest both one opportunity and one risk when we are more divided on the issue about women's issues don't need special space or special discussion, but it seems that the network is critical. What's that one thing we've got to look out for?
No, we got to be in events like Davos. We have to wrench ourselves in. I mean, I just heard the statistic. There were no female speakers up until 5 years ago at Davos. This is a huge change. We still have a lot more to go, but we need to be on the world platforms, and we do need to network with men. We really have to feel comfortable in these spaces.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will have to wrap this up. But before I pack up, I do want to, please, thank you. Give a huge round of applause to our fantastic speakers. Please be with me on stage. I would also like to call upon my co-pot, Diksha Huja, who's here, who's been on this insane journey with me to Davos, to where we are with what we do at Encubay, my co-pot and crackpot. Please come up. Let's please do a picture.